Yo, what's good, fam? It's your man Jay. The day before my birthday. Today is Saturday, August 6, 2022. Tomorrow is my birthday. So I am excited. I am super excited. And I'm not going to tell y'all how old I am. But anyway, this is, as usual, an episode of Evolutionary Comics. I'm your host, your man Jay. And as you see in front of me is a bag, and I know you guys are accustomed and you're used to it by now. When you see a bag, you know what it is. It's my segment of What's in My Bag. Let's get it. Alright, so before we get into this, my little bag, my pickup for the last week, like I normally do, I know these videos are kind of getting a little bit redundant, even for me. You know, they're sporadic, I need to get consistency, they're being the same as far as me just showing you guys what I'm picking up each week. This whole YouTube channel, it needs to remake. It needs to have a little bit more depth. I definitely know that, I acknowledge that, and I promise I am going to bring you something a little bit different. I'm never ever going to be talking about like the prices, the GP analysis, and what this book is going for on eBay. I'm never going to be like some other YouTubers who just read off what's on cover price, you know, the top 10 cover price. That ain't me, because no knocking them, you know, I know I said that kind of twisted, but no knocking them, but that's just not me. I am a reader, even though I fall behind drastically with catching up on all my reading. It's because, you know, there's only so much time in a day, but you know, it is what it is, and this is going to be a little bit more in depth, or I'm going to get more in depth as far as what I'm reading exactly and what the story is about, because you guys see these dope covers and you hear me say, well, I haven't read this one, so I don't really know what it's about. Or sometimes I may say, well, this is what this one is about, and I give you a little bit of information. I plan on going deeper into the stories, especially things that are 3 or 4 series, 3 or 4 issues deep. I'm going to tell you exactly the characters, what's going on with them, and why I think it's something that may interest you. Everybody is interested in different genres. I read things from horror comics. You know, I'm a big Rodneyverse fan, Philadelphia, Anita Hawes. I read all of that type of stuff, but I also still stick with my mainstream Marvel stuff. I read, right now I'm reading Judgment Day. I read X-Men, X-Men Red. I think X-Men, X-Men Red, and Immortal X-Men are my pickups for the X-Men series. I used to pick up Avengers, but I kind of dropped that. Spider-Man, of course, Miles Morales, most definitely. I haven't caught up to Spawn. I haven't been reading Spawn. I think I'm going to just have a day that I'm not doing anything and just read straight through and just read a bunch of Spawn books. Doesn't take me long to blow through a book, so, you know, hopefully I'll be able to do some catching up. What else am I reading right now? Well, nevertheless, before I tell you what I'm reading, let's get into what's in this bag. So, Emerald City Comics, Clearwater, Florida. That's where I pick up my little, make my little pickup, so to speak, get my little hit. And yeah, so first off, we're gonna start off with Boom Studios. This is Basilisk number 10, being written by Cullen Bunn and Jonas Scarf. And pretty much Hannah and Reagan are the main 2 characters, and they're trying to deal with these basically these people that have these powers, and they were using them for evil. Reagan was a part of it. She's like the Basilisk type character. She was the part of it, and she broke away from it. She didn't want no parts of it. Hannah was a victim of these people, and her family got killed, so she's looking for revenge. So Hannah teams up with Reagan. Reagan is really just trying to say, hey, you know, let's kind of get them to stop doing what they're doing. Hannah wants blood. So things have evolved, and now it's kind of almost like the rabbit has the gun, because they're chasing them, and they're chasing Hannah, and Reagan are running. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's a crazy story, but it's a good story. It's a really dope story. I don't know how many people have checked it out or if it's under the radar. I don't hear much buzz about it. It is a Boom Studios book, and a lot of times people sleep on those kind of books for whatever reason. They sleep on Boom Studios, but Boom Studios, Image Comics, they are, to me, I love their books. What else? Dark Horse. Everybody else, you know, DC and Marvel is great, but there's a lot out there for everybody from other imprints as well. So, Mr. Long-Witted himself. Alright, so next up, I have Batman 126 from DC Comics. This is being written by Chip Zdarsky. Chip, he has done a great job with the Daredevil series. I'm anxious to see what he does with this series as well. I didn't read 125 yet, but 125 had the first appearance of Failsafe. This is going to be a little bit more about Failsafe and, you know, whatever battle he has going on with Batman. So, anxious to get into this one. It's definitely something that I'm definitely going to read before the night is out. I'm going to read that first issue. I think I showed you guys that one in another episode, but it's the red one with Failsafe on the cover. So, we're going to see what's up with that. Next up, that's the only DC book I have this week. I'm anxious to get back to Milestone. Milestone has been my favorite little series as far as imprints right now. Their imprint of DC Comics. Hardware, Icon. Right now I'm super deep into Blood Syndicate. That is, the storyline for that is absolutely dope. I'm excited about that. I have some books sent off to Mr. Dennis Cowan, who is one of the great artists. He's one of the co-founders of Milestone. So I'm anxious to get those books back so I can show them off, show the little signature series off, and then have a little piece of history, because I wish I was able to meet him, but unfortunately, unfortunately, they sent everything out to California, so I wasn't able to meet him when he was signing the books. But anyway, alright, so moving into my Marvel books, and this first book is Edge of Spiderverse #1. I don't know a whole lot about the Spiderverse. I have some of the original Spiderverse books, but I never read them. I haven't gotten around to reading them, should I say. You know, I picked them up because, you know, it's Miles and the Spider-Man, and I'm a big Spider-Man fan. Peter Parker was my first favorite superhero, right along with Black Panther. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. But this one, it says the end of the Spider-Verse is coming. It shows that the leading edge of the Spider-Verse, brought to you by Spider-Gwen and Penny Parker. The final edge will introduce you to some of the most important characters in the future of the Spider-Verse, but it will also slice the final strand of the web. In this issue, you're going to have Spider-Noir, Uranus, I can't remember exact. I think that's her. She has a new uniform, and Spider-Rex and more. So this looks like it's going to be something good. Right now, it is being written by Dan Slott. So yeah, it's definitely going to be dope. Dan Slott does some good work. So I'm going to check that out too. You guys might want to pick it up as well. There's a bunch of different covers for this one. It's actually 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. So it looks like there's about 26 different covers for this particular issue. So I was only able to get this one. I did want the, I always want, you know, a Scotty Young cover. Let me see if they have one. Yep, they do have a Scotty Young cover. There was a couple of different ones that I wanted to get, but, you know, I'm trying to cut cost and everything, kind of stay on the low end, but I'm happy with that. We're going to see what the story is about, and if it is that major, then maybe later I'll grab one of those other covers. Alright, next up is Moon Knight #14. This is being written by Jed MacKay, and I got to catch up on this one as well. I think I'm about 2 issues behind. I know that Zodiac showed up again, and Zodiac, Moon Knight, I'm not sure if Hunter's Moon got involved, but you know, they had their little beef. They got into it, and as you see, of course, Moon Knight is still around, so he's back at the mission, and now he's going to be facing a new enemy, and he's going to be dealing with vampires. And if you remember, his assistant, she's a vampire, but she was like the good vampire, where, you know, she had learned to, you know, she learned some social skills and wasn't just out there trying to drink everybody's blood. So we're going to see what's up with these other vampires and how Brother Knight gets to it. So Moon Knight 14. Alright, next up from Marvel is Judgment Day. This is Immortal X-Men number 5. This is a part of the Avengers X-Men Eternals event. And like I said, you know, it's building up to be a pretty good event because the Eternals are gonna, certain ones of the Eternals plan on killing the X-Men. And I haven't gotten to the second issue to see exactly how that's pulling the Avengers completely in. But I'm definitely gonna read that. And the only thing I hate about Marvel is when, as I'm saying this is X-Men Red, which is also the same thing as issue 5 for both, but it's from different vantage points. The thing I hate about Marvel is they do these events and then they start spreading it out over a bunch of different books, and you have to jump around, and there's a list, and you got to find out where each book is, and if it's going to be in Avengers, if it's going to be in Spider-Man. Everybody has a part to play, and it's just a lot. It makes you spend a lot more money, but you know, I get it from their end. It's a business. They trying to get their money, but as a consumer, I ain't too fond of it. Ain't too fond of spending extra money when it's not necessary. All right, so moving into my Image books, and I'm gonna be real brief with this one. Spawn 332, and like I said at the beginning of the video, I haven't been reading Spawn. I've just been collecting them. I used to read Gunslinger Spawn. I had Scorched and another Spawn book. You know, I can't remember which other one. King Spawn. King Spawn. That's the one I was really reading that one. I was digging that one. So I'll probably catch up on King Spawn first. Go back to Gunslinger Spawn. I dropped Scorched and Cost, and it was a good book, but it was just costing. It was like a bunch of different spawns. You get spawn overload, I think. But anyway, so I'm going to catch up to that eventually, but it's not high on my list. So I'm going to get to it eventually. Alright, so next up is from Image Comics as well. By the way, it's their 30th anniversary. I didn't even notice. I think I noticed it. I just overlooked it. But it's their 30th anniversary. So happy 30th anniversary to Image Comics. They super dope. You guys check out their history and you'll find out how Image Comics came to be. Todd McFarlane, I think Jim Lee, a whole bunch of other guys. You guys find out about that. You know, learn your comic book history as well. So anyway, this is The Closet. And this is issue 3. This is the end of the arc. It was a 3-issue series. And first issue introduced you to the little boy who was sent to bed. He kept saying there's something in this closet. There's a monster in this closet. As usual, how parents are, you don't believe it, you know, go to bed, you know. And then it's so crazy. They always say go to bed, and then they turn the lights off. I'm like, come on now, your electric bill ain't gonna be that high if you leave the light on. Them little night lights don't be doing nothing for them kids when they terrified like that. This little kid had a reason to be terrified because it was something in his closet. He was confronted with it, and I guess it left him alone or whatever. So in issue 2, his family was moving. Issue 3 is going to show them going to the new house, and if the little monster whatever it is, alien, followed him to the new house and what happens, what the conclusion is going to be. Definitely interested in seeing what happens with that. This is being written by James Tynion IV, and artwork by Fullerton. I don't know the person's first name, but shout them out as well. And you know, it's decent. It's a good book, so it has my interest. I'm gonna definitely check that out. All right, so this is one of my favorite lady writers, creators, comic book creators. This is Mirka Andolpha, and partially because she does her books are always, not always, but most of the time they're on a little sexual edge, and she does the artwork and she does the writing. So definitely loving her. And she gave me some chat time on Instagram. I hit her up. I had posted about a book, one of her books, and she left me a comment. I hit her up in the DMs, and she didn't leave me on red like a lot of people, you know, like people that don't know you do. But she talked to me a little bit. I missed her when she came to Sarasota to do the signing, but hopefully I'll catch her somewhere else. But anyway, this is Sweet Paprika number 11, and I always get the explicit cover. I'll just give you guys a little peek if I can get it. If I can get it up. Anyway, I'm stupid. But yeah, so you see the bottom of Paprika. I'm not gonna pull it all the way up because I don't know how YouTube feels about the little nudity thing. My channel is not for kids anyway, but you know, just playing it safe. All right, so next book is, this is the Kyle Strom cover, 1 out of 10 of Twig, and I just read issue 3 of this. I'm loving this book. It's being written by one of my favorite artists. Like I said, it's being written by one of my favorite artists, and that's Scotty Young. So whenever I say Scotty Young, I also have to say shout out to my GC3 brothers, my fraternity brothers, especially Tony, because you know he loves him some Scotty Young. Shout out to Nick, Nate, Brian. I always be forgetting Ray. Ray is in another section, but that's still our brother. And Master Chief Paul, what's up? So anyway, this book is really dope. It's like people always say, and I think I said it in a video before, it's kind of like Canto, but I never read Canto, but I get where they can say about looking at it. This one right here is definitely a cartoon that needs to happen. It would be super dope. The creatures in it, the artwork by Kyle Strom is so dope, because all of the different little creatures, and you know, you'll see one creature and it looks real innocent, but it's a killer. You know, so it's real cool like that. So anyway, Twig is still on his mission. He's still trying to get all these pieces together so he can do the placing. He's following in his father's footsteps as a placer, I guess. I forget what they call it, but he's like supposed to set something somewhere, and it's supposed to keep the universe going. So he has to go collect all these pieces to complete his mission, and then get back and do his job. And he's met with all kind of, you know, obstacles. Things are trying to kill him, and yeah, so it's really dope. And he got his little homeboy Splat. You can't really see him. Actually, he's not on. I don't see him on this cover, but he's really small. He's like a little yellow Splat. But anyway, it's a really dope book. It's really cool. I think you guys would love that, especially if you don't want something too heavy, nothing political, nothing too violent, no horror stuff. That is definitely a pickup for you to get. So, and especially you can show your little kids that too, I think anyway. All right, so always got to end my my weekly pickup. I like to end it each week, but I can't because he doesn't always have books out. So this week I'm fortunate enough, and we're going back to the Rodneyverse. As always, that is my favorite creator right now, my favorite author. I was gonna say artist, but my favorite author. And this is Philadelphia number 24, and this is the Noir edition. That's a dope cover. I'm loving this. I'm telling you guys, you gotta stay tuned for this, because Philadelphia is definitely coming to TV. Right now, I got a little alert saying that that Rodney Barnes is adapting it for a TV show. So that's gonna be really, really cool. And you guys know that he has Hollywood connections. That's what he was doing before. He's a Hollywood writer. He worked on American Gods. He just did Winning Time. That's the Lakers Showtime show on HBO. That was outstanding. I hope they do a season 2. I never saw if they planned on a season 2, but that would be dope if they did. So yeah, so he's out there getting it. He's also writing The Mandalorian, so check that out. You know, support my man Rodney Barnes, and also hit him up on his Substack. Subscribe to his Substack, because if you're loving this kind of stuff, you're gonna love what's on the Substack as well. You'll be able to be introduced to Johnny Gatlin, 30 Degrees the Rigger, and I think Elysium Gardens is still on there as well too. So definitely check that out. So basically, I'm definitely about to read this, because in issue 23 they were all priming up for a big war. So the war is about to get lit, and we're gonna see what's up with that. It's gonna be vampires, werewolves, humans. It's gonna be crazy. And yeah, so definitely check that out. I also picked up this 1 in 10 variant as well, and yeah, I don't remember who did this. I can't remember who did this, and I know how I can find out real quick. I am on my... I always had a computer here and I just forget to look stuff up. So anyway, okay, this is the Kelly Jones variant. So there's one Kelly Jones variant that has the red in it, and then this is the one that's the black and white one, the 1 in 10. I got both of these. I got this one. I'm even though, you know, I was gonna get it anyway. But if you see the if you see the Lakers show, that Rodney Barnes does, he plays a security guard in it, and the security guard has these big old pork chop sideburns. I used to rock the sideburns when I was younger, before I could grow a beard. But you know, that's another story. So I love pork chop sideburns. I might rock it one day again. Might do it for like Halloween or something. But anyway, this guy looks just like him. So you're gonna find out who this is, or you should have found out who this is if you've been reading the series. And this is gonna be the savior, I guess. And we're gonna see what happens with that. So yeah, it's really dope. You'll see James Sangster and Son. You'll see the presidents, George Washington, Jefferson, all of them crazy vampire people, and you're gonna see the pro werewolf, I guess. I don't even know what to call them, because it's like a bunch of brothers and it's a couple sisters in there. But yeah, I don't know how that plays, but it's dope. I'm telling you, it's dope. You definitely want to check it out. You don't want to miss out on that book. Anyway, think that was really dope. This is everything that I picked up this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this segment of what's in my bag. Like I say, stay tuned, because I'm definitely going to put out a preview show this week of what I'm going to be picking up this coming week. So the week of, I think it's going to be August 10th or whatever is the next day that comic books come out. I think that's going to be Wednesday. But I'm going to show you guys, you know, what I pick up then as well. So, and get ahead of it. I'm going to put that one out definitely by Monday, so you guys can see that video, watch that video, and then you can already have a shopping list that when you hit up your local comic book shop, you'll know what you're picking up. That's the goal anyway. So hit me up in the comments as always. Show me some love. Tell me what you feeling that I got in my little what's in my bag segment. Make sure you read. I'm definitely going to do a segment on what I'm reading, and I'm going to break down individual books. It won't be a full stack, and maybe like 2 or 3 books. We're going to talk about what's going on in the book, the characters, the writer, what I think of the writing, everything like that. So that's a mouthful, right? All right. Anyway, so I'm going to end this segment. You guys check me out. And always, as always, continue to evolve. It's Evolutionary Comics. It's your man Jay, and I'm out. Peace.